Carl, who has come to share some thoughts with you this evening. It is a total pleasure and honor for me to be here at this time and to have witnessed the energy that you have created in your circle tonight. It fills my heart with joy to see this work being continued and the efforts and the progress that you have all made individually in your spiritual path and your spiritual journey and in your ways of communicating with the world of spirit. For as I have said before, it is not the goal of everyone to become a medium to work in public or to give readings, but the fact that you are becoming more attuned to the world of spirit and more attuned to receiving our messages and instructions, we will be able to guide you into times to come of how to avoid the pitfalls and from stumbling over problems that may lie ahead. So I greatly applaud your efforts in your own development of your skills of communicating with the world of spirit, for it will serve you well in the future. It is important for each of you to understand that the world of spirit is always around you. Spirit always works, is walking with you, and there is always someone there to listen to your thoughts and is available upon your needs. Even if that person cannot help you at that particular moment, they can send out a thought within the spirit world to bring another spirit in to provide the answers to the questions that you are asking. So do not feel that, or do not think that every spirit who is walking with you is a genius and knows every answer in the universe, for that is not true. I certainly didn't know every answer of the questions that were presented to me. But so often when a question was presented, there would be a change of speaker. There would be a different spirit brought in to provide the answer, who had the knowledge of that answer to provide it for the person who is seeking it. And it works that way all the time. There is always someone walking with you. And if they do not have the knowledge to deal with what is troubling you at the moment, they seek someone else to come in and to share the burden and to provide the answer that you need at the moment. So be aware of that fact. As I often used to say, when you cross over into the world of spirit, you do not become all-knowing. You do not have all the answers of the universe. You are just the same way you were. You come into the new dimension with the same beliefs, with the same knowledge that you have. And it is here in the spirit world that there are many opportunities for you to expand the knowledge, and sometimes for some to correct the information that you learned in the physical world, because so many people are not taught the truth of how the universe is really set up. They are listening to the man-made teachings of religions that want people to think in a certain way, but they are man-made. They are not always filled with spiritual truths, as you understand. So in this world, there are lots of opportunities for people to relearn the truth, to reconstruct their thinking processes and their belief systems to include things that they would never have done in the physical world. So it is important for you to realize that that opportunity does exist, and that the world of spirit is like going to a grand university or a grand place, school of learning, because there are so many opportunities to learn of all different subjects, on all different topics, depending on the person's desires, on that soul's desires, on what they wish to seek and what they wish to learn. As I used to teach so often, the world of spirit, your afterlife, the life in the world of spirit is what you create, and is what is built on your desires. So if you want to live in a mansion, you think about that mansion, and it exists, and that is the way you will have your existence. You can change that at any time, of course. So, but many people come after a while, they get bored with that kind of existence, and they become more interested in helping their fellow souls, the other divine beings, to learn and to help them in their path in development and spiritual growth. And many people devote a lot of their time to that. Also, there are lots of spirits who devote their times to helping people in the physical world, whether it's the ones who are mediums who are trying to develop and communicate with the world of spirit, or if it's people who are not into mediumship, because there are people walking with every person on the physical world, and they stand by them and they project thoughts to them. So often those thoughts are not picked up, unfortunately, but there's still, spirit does not give up, because there is always a glimmer of hope that that physical person will stumble across some sort of seed of truth that will open their minds just a bit and allow their mind to access information from a higher realm, from the world of spirit. So the opportunity is always there. It's up for the physical person to open their self up to the possibilities of learning, of seeking truths that is from a realm that they cannot see or hear. But it's still impressed into their minds. It may be impressed in a dream state, or it may be impressed in other ways, that all of a sudden a thought pops into their mind, and they might not recognize that it's not their own thought, and they act on the thought, but the thought really came from the spirit world, from a spirit who's walking alongside of them. And it really doesn't matter if the person realizes that it's coming from the spirit world. The fact that the thought changed their actions and changed their path is what's important. We as spirit do not need the credit. We do not need to feel self-important because, we helped 100 people come to the world of spirit with more knowledge. That's not important. We do not keep records like that. It is just for our own satisfaction and our own spiritual growth, that helping others is beneficial. It is important for you to be aware of us in whatever capacity you can, to take some time during your day to open yourself up to the spirit world, to receive the thoughts of the spirit world, because you know that someone is with you. You know that they have the intent of helping you along your path. You just have to be open to it, to start to receive that information, and therefore allow that to process through your thought system and through your physical nature, and bring it into reality and then into manifestation on the physical level. That is your birthright. It is the birthright of every human being who walks the earth, to be able to access the knowledge and the guidance from the world of spirit. And we therefore trust and hope that you will take the time to open yourself up to the world of spirit, that you will sit in the exercises like you have just done, to allow yourself to close down the physical thought processes and open up and become receptive to the spirit world. Because the more that you do that, the easier it is for us to impress your minds and impress your souls with the guidance that you are seeking. And it matters not whether you sit an hour a day, as some people do, or whether you sit for 5 minutes a day. The fact that you are sitting and you're dedicating a certain amount of time to the world of spirit is what's important. And that doing it as a consistent basis is important. Whether it's once a week or twice a week or daily, it matters not. The fact that you are taking the time and dedicating a certain amount of time to us, we will be there and we will work with you, and we will improve your facility. We will improve the connections between yourself and the world of spirit, and we will provide you with the inspiration and the knowledge that you are seeking and that you need and that you are in need of. So do not be discouraged. Do not feel that if you take the time and you start sitting at home and it is not as powerful or it is not as intense as you experienced just now, do not be discouraged and do not think, well, it can't work because it's not the same. It will work. It's just on a different level. And the more that you do it on an individual basis, the more empowered and intense it'll be when you do it together in your group. Because each of you will be coming as a stronger cell in the battery, and you'll be able to produce more energy and feel more upliftment and more openness when you work in a group. So do not feel, it's not working, it's not the same as it was here. Don't worry about that. Just do what you can do. That's all that we ask, that you can give, even if it's only 5 minutes, give it to the world of spirit. Take the time to relax, to sit in your energy, to feel your auric field expand further and further and further out away from your body, because as you do that, you are creating a light, and we will notice it. Just like we noticed the light that you created as you sat together today. You generated a very powerful light out into the spirit world. And that is why so many people came to be with you as you sat in the power, because they saw your light as you worked on the healing energy that you created. They saw that dome of light, and that they came being attracted to that light to see what is going on with this group. What are they creating? What are they doing? And they came to help and to assist in your endeavors. They came to help and blend with you as you sat in the power. And that is the way it works. That's the laws of communication. We always look for the light that is being generated. How often I was told from the spirit world of the powerful light that was created over the building that I used to have, the building where we had our classes, where we sat on the floor in the basement and we did our exercises and we did our disciplines and created all that energy that went out into the universe. It was a tremendous light that came, and as you came week after week, it became more and more intense, because more and more spirit people came to work with you. And that is the way it works. And you are creating that same system where you are now in your present time. You are creating a powerful generation of energy. You are generating energy on a very powerful level when you get together these days. And we are most happy for that, and we're most grateful for that, because your world needs light. It needs the light of understanding. It needs the light of love, because the world has changed so much. Even since I have left it, it has changed so drastically much, where people who barely talk to each other, if they don't agree with each other, they are in war with each other. Things never used to be that bad, but it is today. It is all part of what is coming. It is all part of the turbulent transition from the world of ignorance into the world of knowledge. It is going to be a turbulent change, and it is our hope that your group of people will be able to walk through those turbulent waters unscathed, and work and can help people along the way who will be seeking the guidance and understanding of what's happening around them, because they are going to be bewildered. They are not going to understand why all this is happening. You have been educated about all of this, and you will be able to help them. And the more you're able to attune to the world of spirit, you will be able to get the divine knowledge and the divine guidance that will help each of those individuals. And those words will flow out of your mouth without you even thinking about it. And you'll be able to help those people along their way. And you will be serving your destiny of being a spiritual teacher, because all of you are going to be spiritual teachers in the future. I seem to have rambled quite a bit, and I guess it's time for me to step down from my soapbox and leave you to contemplate some of the things that we have talked about. But know how greatly appreciative I am of all of you, how much I love all of you, and how much joy it fills my heart that you are walking along the path that I began to show you when I was on the physical world. It is so joyful for me to know that I made a difference in your lives, and that you are continuing in the path of spiritual growth and spiritual knowledge. My love to all of you, my blessings to all of you, and I leave you in peace. So be it.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Love to you,
Love
Carl.
you.
And love to you, Sydney. Thank you.